A man may see the rotten apple as a reminder of the impermanence of life. Just as the apple was once fresh and full of potential, so too are the humans in their youth. As the man observes the apple, he might notice how its once smooth and vibrant skin starts to wrinkle. Its color fades and small spots of decay begin to appear. Can painting the same apple for 30 days straight lead him to a sense of peace or acceptance about his own mortality, understanding that death is not an end, but a transformation. Day 0. I found my lovely volunteer at a local supermarket. His name is the Choosing Apple 4131 from United States. After signing the contract, the experiment begins. Day 1. I had no idea how the composition is going to be. That's why I got a big sheet of unstretched canvas to have complete freedom to paint apples on it. I thought about doing it in order like how one writes, left to right, top to bottom, but that's too rigid looking. So I just followed my feeling at the time and started the first apple in the center. Later on, I naturally spiral outward. There's a video of me painting this first apple in real time, where I talked about my approach. All the apple paintings are going to be side size and a la prima, finished in one session. First apple took the longest to paint, around 40 minutes. Later on, each apple took me an average of 20 minutes. Day 2. The apple looked exactly the same from the first day. So I made the Choosing Apple 4131 do a different pose to have more variety for this painting project. Day 3. I woke up and the painting is gone. It fell off the wall. Tape is not enough. I should have kept the paints on. I raised the Choosing Apple 4131 a bit and did a perfect eye level profile view. And yes, the Choosing Apple 4131 looks exactly like yesterday and the day before yesterday. I was gonna reminiscent about aging and death, but I guess the Choosing Apple 4131 is too young and fresh to think about things like that. Day 4. The Earth has made a full rotation. Today I asked the Choosing Apple 4131 to do a more dynamic pose. And I'm happy he's able to sustain that pose throughout the painting session. And as usual, the Choosing Apple 4131 is full of energy and didn't show a sign of aging. Looks as juicy as the day I met him in supermarket. Day 5. Today, the Choosing Apple 4131 did his first upside down pose. It went well. Day 6. Another dynamic pose. Looking at this footage, I think I rendered the Choosing Apple 4131 too vibrant in some areas, or maybe I didn't. Maybe it's just the angle. Anyway, the Choosing Apple 4131 look as good as ever. Tomorrow will be the 7th day, hitting 1 week mark. Day 7. Day 7, 1 week. The Choosing Apple 4131 is still looking the same. I have to keep finding new angles for this apple, for there's no other variations coming from this apple. I could change lighting, but I didn't want to change the direction of the lighting. There are temperature shifts due to when I paint the apple. In the morning, the light is much cooler. Day 8. I like how I choose the spiral outward arrangement, because now I have my Day 8, the Choosing Apple 4131, right beside Day 2, the Choosing Apple 4131. It's a nice juxtaposition. Although they look completely the same, is today's apple less saturated than the Day 2 one? Or am I just seeing things I want to see? Day 9. Hi, the Choosing Apple 4131. It's been 9 days, and you still look fantastic. How were you able to maintain such freshness for 9 days now? I want reminiscent about life and the unstoppable passing of time. But you are making people to think I filmed all this in 1 day.
Hi, I'm sorry. I don't know, but I'm still getting paid, right?
Oh, didn't my assistant tell you this is unpaid work?
Assistant? Which assistant? I've never spoke to your assistant.
Oh, right. She rage quit after I told her this position is unpaid intern. So she never spoke to you, I guess?
Am I being scammed?
Day 10. Fantastic job. the Choosing Apple 4131. You are doing so great. The audience will love you. This exposure will help you so much. Yes, I only get 100 views, but imagine 100 people in a room. That's a lot of people, right? Just imagine. Day 11. It's been 11 days. My test subject, the Choosing Apple 4131, is slightly less full, less plump, I think. You know, when you see someone every day, you don't notice they are aging, but when you see someone for the first time in 3 years, you can notice some aging. I don't know if it's the same thing happening here, but I barely notice the Choosing Apple 4131 age. Day 12.
Floating, weightless, under seas, diving, conscious, like a dream.
Day 13. Today is day 13. I can definitely confirm that the Choosing Apple 4131 has gone darker in color. The skin is less glossy due to its skin now being less plump. A less smooth surface made the reflective glossy finish and the vibrant color fade away a little bit. Day 14. No one can stop time, not even you, the Choosing Apple 4131. Day 15. Experiment is at its halfway point. It's nice I can put the day 15 apple next to the day 1 apple. I must admit, you look great. Way better than I thought you to be. Day 15 is also one of my favorite portraits of the Choosing Apple 4131 so far. Day 16. From distance, the Choosing Apple 4131 looks the same, but upon close inspection, its bottom has the most obvious wrinkling, which was not present in earlier days, which made it look like butthole. Did the Choosing Apple 4131 just grew a butthole? Is this apple slowly turning into a human? Day 17. Dear the Choosing Apple 4131, how are you?
I'm doing great, except the fact that I paid by exposure. Everything else is great. I feel great.
That's good to hear. By the way, I just realized, how does an apple able to talk? Are you slowly becoming a person now that your bottom look more and more like a human butthole?
I don't talk. In fact, I never spoke a word all this time. I'm not conscious. It's your mind. You are fucking weird.
That's a bit rude, but okay. So am I the only one that's worried about aging? Day 18.
A lot of people worry about aging. Some are obsessed with it, trying to stop it or reverse it. Everyone has a different reason to fear aging. I don't think you in particular worry about aging in the sense of growing old. You understand it's a privilege. Not everyone gets to live the next year. Not everyone will be alive 5 years later, 10 years later. You know that and you appreciate the privilege to be the age you are now.
Okay, then what am I worried about? Day 19.
You worry about your age not matching your success. You crave success because you see so many people at your age that are way more successful.
Okay.
Like way more successful.
Yes, I get it.
As when age, it's less about possibilities, but more about accomplishments. You just want more accomplishments.
Day 20. What now?
Just keep doing what you do. And back for likes and subscribers.
Okay. Please like and subscribe, please. Day 21. It's the 21st day. A lot of things can happen in 3 weeks. I've heard a saying say that if you can persist the habit for 3 weeks, the habit is way more likely to stick. So I guess when you want to adopt a new habit, push it to 3 weeks is a good goal to set. Day 22. Dear the Choosing Apple 4131. I've been watching you for weeks now, studying you from every angle. It's strange how something so small, so simple can hold such depth. When I first placed you on the table, you were perfect. Vibrant, red like a sunset trapped in your skin, a masterpiece of nature. I wanted to capture that moment, paint you as you were, suspended in time, eternally fresh. But time is never still, is it? You've started to change, barely, just barely. To most, you still seem flawless at first glance. A slight bruise here, a soft spot here. Nothing too dramatic. But I see it. Feel it, even. The shift. That delicate line between beauty and decay, like the finest brushstroke turning imperceptibly dark. The vibrancy you once had is dimming, just around the edges. I suppose I could have painted you as you were, at your peak, gleaming and untouched. But somehow, this moment, this in-between is more intriguing. You still hold your beauty, but now there's a story. A bruise is more than a blemish. It's a memory of some small impact, a mark of time's gentle, inevitable touch. There's art in that. I wonder if you feel it, too. The slight softening, the subtle surrender to time. It's not defeat, but rather a quiet acceptance. You are becoming something new, a little less perfect perhaps, but no less worthy of attention. I find myself drawn to your imperfections now. The way your skin wrinkles just the slightest bit, as if you were exhaling after holding your breath for so long. Decay is an art of its own. The way you are changing reminds me of old canvases, how the paint cracks, how colors fade, but in their fading, they tell a deeper story. I think I will paint you now, in this moment of transition, while you are still mostly whole, but with those first hints of impermanence, there's a truth in you now, when that wasn't there before. I wonder what you will become in another few days. Will you continue to rot quietly until there's nothing left but a husk of what you were? Or will you surprise me holding on to some last thread of vitality longer than I expect? Either way, I will keep painting until day 30, and you will live on in my work. Even as you change, you will be remembered. For now though, I will be here with you, brush in hand, and capture this fleeting moment before it too fades away. Yours in admiration, Naboyaks.
Dear Naboyaks, your letter made me pause. To be seen, really seen, by someone who notices the subtlety of my transformation. It's a rare thing. Most only glance at me in passing, appreciating my former sheen, but overlooking what I'm becoming. You, though, lingered long enough to understand that there's more to me now than there ever was in my prime. Yes, I remember when I was flawless, when my skin gleamed and my surface was unmarred by time. I could feel the way eyes admired me, the way hands reached for me, seeking that taste of perfection. But perfection, as I'm learning, is fleeting. I was never meant to stay untouched. Even as I sat here on this weird contraption, I knew deep down that the first bruise was inevitable. That's what we are, after all, transient. But you, with a brush and your eye for the details that others miss. You see my bruises and don't turn away. You see the softening, the slow surrender to time, and you still wish to capture me. How strange. To be valued in a state of decline. Yet how freeing. You make me feel as though this moment is not an end, but a part of a long story, a story worth painting. I've never had the chance to speak before, never had the chance to explain that I am not afraid of this change. I am what I am. I will become what I must. I can already feel it, the gentle loosening of my flesh, the way my sweetness is souring. It's not painful, just inevitable. I do not mourn for my earlier self, nor do I cling to the perfection that I once held. That was only one chapter in a longer journey, a single frame in the broader canvas of time. Perhaps you're right. Perhaps there's more art in decay than imperfection. Perfection is static, unmoving, while change is alive, dynamic. Even now, as I rot, I'm become something new. Maybe my worth is not in the smoothness of my skin or the firmness of my flesh, but in the story that I carry, the story you see. There's beauty in being a little bruised, a little worn down by time, if you choose to see it that way. I'm glad, Naboyax, that you choose this moment to capture me, for soon I will be gone, just a memory, a soft, faded spot on the table. But through your eyes, through your brush, I will remain in this state of transition, neither perfect nor ruined, but something in between. That's where I am now, and I am content. So, take your time, paint me as I am while I am still here, and I will give you everything I have left. In the end, that's all we can do, isn't it? That's what we have before we fade. Yours, the Choosing Apple 4131.
Thank you so much for your contribution. Can you please call in the next volunteer? Okay. Hello.